thank you so much for staying there and welcome back. Karibu sana. The hashtag is still Why in the Morning, pale social media. And we have asked you a question about cancer awareness, cervical cancer specifically. And that is the conversation we'll be having towards the last segment of this morning show right here. Today, I'm sitting in for Grace. This segment is usually all ladies, but all the ladies are away. They'll be back. So I'm their representative right here. And I was saying, I'm the woman representative for today on this show. And I pray I represent 100%. If not, please say it at the comment section, right? So that we do justice next Wednesday. Now, in this conversation right here, I'm going to speak to Charity Wangari Muiruri. She's a geographer by profession. So we're going to get to understand what exactly happens in the world of geography, meaning it's just pursuing different facets of humanity, from social to health to infrastructure and whatnot, and now the geospatial part as well. And when it comes to now opportunities that are in that space, how can local authorities and even national authorities tap into in terms of aiding even passionate personalities and enthusiasts who are really interested to pursue geography and just the whole entire spectrum? It's a really an interesting space. And off the air, I was speaking to my guest, and she's just about to actually give you interesting nuggets and insights and stories as well. Karibu sana, and nice to meet you, Miss Charity.
Thank you very much, Brian. How are you?
Karibu sana. Now, I want us to get, first of all, to know what the profession geography means. And for anyone who's watching right now and they could be interested to pursue that profession, what are some of the things that are lined in there that should expect to meet?
First of all, my name is Charity, as mentioned. I am a geographer by studies, I can say that. What to expect in the geography field is, literally it is geography first of all is the study of the physical and human part of the earth and how they get to interact with the environment.
Right.
Yeah, so when can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Well, if anyone wants to venture into that space as a profession, what are some of the things that they should expect? But I love the fact that you mentioned you've incredibly shared about pursuing it in school as a profession or as a study or as a course here. So what are some of the things that they'll meet while they pursue that?
You'll meet a lot of things. First of all, you'll have to be intentional about it. You'll have to enjoy it first. You have to know what you want to to achieve from it. Like for example, for me, I knew I wanted to study something in the outside, let's say outside the office, I can say. Yeah, because geography is more of things that are outside, are in the outside world, like outside an enclosed room. So yeah, that is it.
Yeah. So what moved you to, morph into that space? Were you, let's say, did you identify like there were other figures that were there that pushed you towards it, or it came from self within, like an inspiration that just moved you? Because it touches a lot as well on matters environment, the social structure of society, and many other facets. So was it self-inspired, or you found interest from someone, an influence?
First of all, I didn't know like a course like Bachelor of Arts in Geography existed, because at first I wanted to do something to do quantity survey or architecture, but then my cluster points zilikata. So I had to look for something that is going to help me at least get close to whatever I wanted to do, or get me into what I wanted to do. And so that is where I started doing my research. And also, since primary, I loved the social studies, but not the physical part of the social studies. I loved geography in high school. And I came to pursue it in campus because it's because I'm dealing with something that I can see, something that is real. I don't have to say like, this and this happened. You can't see, where's the evidence apart from the written work? Like for geography, you see what you're doing. Yeah, that is what inspired me to do geography.
Yeah. Wow, interesting. Are there maybe projects that you've successfully managed to undertake that you'd say if somebody wants to witness your works in your geography profession, they can check out? Also maybe understudy or study projects in your academia. Are there any that you can passionately share to just inspire?
For projects, unless no, I have not done any projects, but I can say the only projects I have done, the only project I have done is the one that we normally do in campus.
Yeah.
The one that is compulsory for you to graduate fourth year. That one I did. I did the relationship between climate change and loss of biodiversity in Nairobi National Park. So
Wow, that's a very very imperative and important aspect of climate. Yeah.
yeah. At least I can say I have a start.
Yeah. Maybe you can share more insights on that, and just maybe like a small chunk of it, and how important it means, even now that, you know, President Donald Trump just signed the Paris Agreement. In fact, he issued an executive order of the USA exiting, meaning that the US is an integral part when it comes to conversations about climate action, because it's ranked as one of the biggest countries that emit a lot of CO2 in the air, and when it comes to funding as well, and much more, and how this means for Africa. But then I'd like you to just share a little chunk of that project and what it means, especially now that it's in your profession as a geographer. You mentioned biodiversity and climate.
And climate change.
And climate change, yes. Yeah, please. That's very important. Talk about it.
Like for now, for where we are right now, we're experiencing climate change in all sorts of aspects, negative and positive as well. But I think it is more on the negative side, because you see, even the rain patterns are changing. You find like it was not raining in January. You find that there are some showers in It is supposed to be raining in March. It is not raining. Like, and if there is that change, you find that the animals in the national park are affected, because also the food season is also changing for them. So if they do not adapt to it, well, they're gonna die and stuff. So it has contributed to loss of food to the national park, because less rain, less food, and also it is like a chain. If there is no grass for the antelopes to feed on, they reduce in number. If there are no antelopes to feed on, the lions reduce in number. If there are no lions to feed on, the vultures, the hyenas reduce in number. So like,
it's like a hierarchy or a chain. I don't know how you call it, an ecosystem kind of chain. I get it.
If the thing at the top misses, all of this are affected.
It affects the bottom. It's like when a grasshopper is dead, a chameleon will starve.
Exactly.
And when a chameleon starves, maybe what eats a chameleon? Is it a snake? A snake starves. When a snake starves, you know, something else starves. You know, and that ecosystem dies down, which is very important, especially to the environment and just balancing the ecosystem. But then before we talk about technology and how maybe you'd be passionate to maybe use it in your next course of in pursuit of your career, I'd like you to talk about how this part of geography that maybe you're interested in, and how it's very important, especially in the next coming years. And maybe what are some of the anticipatory projects that you have in mind that you'd like to pursue? And also maybe if you were to seek, I'd say, partnerships, if you are to reach out to lobby groups, first of all, maybe if you can share what part of geography are you mostly aligned to, and then we can pick up from there.
I am mostly interested in the GIS and remote sensing part of geography, in which GIS is a software that is used to store and analyze the data that is collected, and remote sensing is basically you get information.
GIS, you said in full, it's
Geographic Information System.
Geographic Information System.
And remote sensing is whereby you get to collect data from satellites on the Earth's surface. That I'm interested in that area.
Yeah, so maybe for that, maybe what are the avenues that can be used to explore with that kind of system, the GIS system?
For GIS, as I've said, it's used for data collection. You can use GIS to collect very many data on the Earth's surface. You can use it to collect like the number, for example, in the wildlife sector, you can use it to collect the number of animals that are there, the species, and everything else. You can use it to collect data about a specific town,
Yeah.
or a specific town, the demographics of the town, what the number of buildings, architectural buildings and stuff. You can use it to collect the data. You can use it to monitor the like water supplies and yeah.
Right.
And,
Maybe while you're mentioning that, I was trying to see what Nairobi governor said. You want Nairobi, all buildings in the CBD repainted. Maybe that kind of a system can help like monitor, this one is fake painted, this one is real paint. I'm just trying to widely imagine, especially now in the urban setting, in just bid to, make sure that Nairobi continues to be, on point with the international standards. So that's a very interesting sphere.
it is,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And also with GIS and remote sensing, the data collected will help you in future plans. It will help you know like what is needed of this area, what is needed to be done so that this can happen. You'll get to know to plan ahead for the future.
Right.
Yes.
Right, interesting. I want us to move now maybe to, I don't know how we can plug in the Gen Zs into this, but maybe let's talk about the entrepreneurial part of it. Does it have like a place where you can venture into it as a business, where you maybe for yourself, you're looking forward to, say, position yourself as a consultant who is looking to offer, let's say, like GIS kind of system consultancy and help even to, let's say, like the local government or even the county government or maybe even a village for that matter that's interested to pursue a specific phenomena in their system? All right, as we continue to adjust something, the microphone, not something, as we adjust Charity's microphone, we're actually having a conversation about geography. She's she says she's a geographer, but I believe she's a professional geographer, just trying to have a conversation about what exactly happens into that space. But I'm also interested to know maybe many other facets of that. That includes now the human, especially when it comes to culture here, right here in Nairobi. Do we have there's a friend of mine who was telling me that, there's something that usually happens when you intermingle people from Nairobi and other counties. It's like you are from a different country that's totally different from the country they live in, especially when it comes to language, mannerisms, etc. How does geography come in to ensure that that is explored? And I think we can now get back to Charity. So you're trying to now, I think I was asking about the entrepreneurial part, if you're to position yourself as a consultant who's trying to give services to maybe the national, county government, or a village for that matter. Maybe what are some of the things you'd like to offer that maybe you'd also love even the government to be interested to support such projects? And that's why I mentioned maybe partnerships, sponsorship. I think it's very imperative to have that on board. Yeah.
For that, I can say mostly it can come in the environmental part, where with the environmental part, as a geographer, I can use it to educate people on how to mitigate the climate changes that are happening, because for climate change to occur, it has to start from somewhere, and for it to have a change, it has to start again from somewhere and from someone. So I can use my geography knowledge that I have to help and educate people on how to control the environment and how to manage it as well.
Yeah.
And also for partnerships, I can look forward to work with partners like Green Africa Foundation that are concentrated on the environment as well, tree planting and environmental cleaning and things like that.
Yeah, interesting. I think that's climate action talk. But then when you look at that and what's happening in Africa at large, since in the breadth of climate action, and I know this year there'll be more vocal conversations now that the Paris Agreement has been done away with the swearing in of President Donald Trump. Do you believe maybe for Africa we should brace ourselves for, from your experience as a geographer, we should brace ourselves for tougher and difficult climate experiences that are looming, or maybe we're heading there to a point in a season where we are able to combat? I don't know if for Africa, are we combating, are we adapting, specifically even in Kenya, are we adapting or combating? Yeah.
I can say for the climate, I think we're headed more towards, we are trying to combat it as well. We find ourselves, we are also contributing to the climate change because of the different factories are being set up, different industries, different things are happening, and as you find that mostly they are not using the correct ways of disposing their waste, or they're not considering land use plan to like, for example, build a factory and everything. You find like, I saw in the social media they are trying to clear Karura forest to create ground for coal for something.
Right. Yes.
Now
I think it was like a controversial case last year.
Yeah, because now you see they have to clear a number of trees.
Yeah, that is deforestation.
Exactly, it's deforestation. And if they're saying they're going to, how sure are we that they are going to plant more trees that have been cut down at the same, to equal to the number that have been cut down. You see, so like we are also contributing to
climate crisis.
Yeah.
Or change.
And also trying to combat it at the same time.
Yeah.
So like they're going hand in hand. If this is happening, this is also happening. So you find that there won't be much change about it, because you can't say that you're trying to solve a problem while creating another problem about it.
Yeah. And I believe as well that is an interesting conversation that need to be furthered in terms of activity, because I think I was reading somewhere, there's also a guest, I've interviewed lots of climate action guests and experts right here on the show. Some of them even say, there's one who said that every human being releases some sort of gas, like just the way you are, there's some sort of CO2 that's going in. And then now she was delving into human activities, like just, dumping, 2-3 pieces of litter at a certain place. That's already emitting some form of gas. And now you can add in combustion from cars. There's also now emissions from tech gadgets, and people don't even know and understand about that. And I think it's very interesting. Now, as we proceed with this conversation, maybe in terms of influences, are there personalities that you looked up to, not academic-wise, I want maybe the ones that are already in this profession, that maybe a case study, or sort of like mentors or people that are doing projects that you'd like to align with them and just create an amazing, beautiful world in the geography space?
First, I can say I have followed, he's called Dr. Kalua Green. He's the founder and director of the Green African Foundation. I like the way he is involving the community in environmental conservation, in the tree planting that he has done. Mostly he has done the projects of tree plantings, and the way he's involving the community in participating in such activities, because it is helping the environment in one way or another. I'd like to not partner with him. I would like to be in his foundation, and also probably in the near future to partner with him.
Absolutely. Because I believe Dr. Kalu is very vocal, by the way.
He is.
And I'm sure probably he'll react today about this Paris Agreement, or maybe they've even written something, because I think there's a mission called, is it Greening Kenya or Greening Earth? Yeah. where we have to plant more trees to ensure that, yeah, like you said, the trees you're cutting and the trees you're planting, is it equivalent to the proportion, and alongside, you know, other human activities. Now, in terms of professional support, did you receive any while you were focusing to do this profession, in terms of, let's say, even parental support,
Well,
sisterly support, brotherly support, friendship, network? Yeah.
First of all, when I was choosing this course, I was not because my cluster points wouldn't accept architecture and quantity survey. I was devastated first because those are the courses I really wanted to do. Now I was blank. I was like, Sasa, what can I do? Honestly, like, I asked my mom, I asked my parents, I said, mtu ikifika hapa, what do you do? And then he's like, ni nani anaenda kusoma, ni mimi ama ni wewe? What do you want to, what will you really want to do? And also I received help from my brother, Eric, because he has done urban and regional planning, and at least it is still along the route that I wanted to do. So I said, I want to do something that is going to help me get to what I really wanted to do, or something that is going to get me close to what I want to do. So, and since I loved geography since I was small, we decided to look at the geographic courses that are offered in Kenya. And also, you know, when you tell someone you're doing Bachelor of Arts in Geography, they think it is education. And for me, I did not want to do anything about education.
Right.
Yeah. So we did our research, and we got Bachelor of Arts in Geography, and that is the route I decided to go with. And I googled, I saw with this you're able to work with people from environment, you can do land surveying, you can do geospatial, you can
mapping,
exactly,
you know,
such
whatnot,
such fields. You are with geography, you're able to navigate through all that. And also when you do like geography, because it is a very wide course, you're able to specialize in whatever you want to do. Like now, for example, I said I want to specialize in GIS and remote sensing. I did that in campus, but as a unit. Now I want to do it like now as a
profession, like a forte now.
Exactly.
So that means you're going to go back to school or do more training outside?
I've actually started, and right now I'm in the School of YouTube.
Right, University of YouTube, a very important institution.
It is actually very important. I'm learning how to use AutoCAD. AutoCAD is a software where architectures, constructors use it to build 2D and 3D models for a certain building or architectural projects. So that is what I'm doing right now. I'm learning how to use AutoCAD, and also I'm planning to go back to school and do GIS and remote sensing and specialize in it actually. Yes.
Yes, as a degree now?
No, no. As a master's.
Right. Yeah.
And also a short course first. Yeah.
I think that would be very interesting to now get you started. So when you exit, what do you want to focus on after you've garnered all those skills?
I can say I want to focus on building on the environmental aspects mostly, and actually environmental and climate aspects, and also the physical aspect of geography, in the physical.
Right. I believe that's now the geospatial part as well. Yeah. Funny and interesting at the same time is my sister is a geospatial engineer. She's a former alumni of University of Nairobi right here. So I can hear her conversations echoing in my head, and but then your space is really interesting now that you mentioned matters environment, and maybe if you were to maybe start up projects after you exit that will maybe spread awareness on matters climate action, or try to even pitch to international organizations that are interested about, having these conversations you're having here? Maybe what are the things that you'd pitch for them now that you've included AutoCAD? You just mentioned the AutoCAD technology in there.
I would say, like, before you think of starting any project, any project, first of all, consider the environment around it, where you want to do your project, because you might end up destroying the environment. For example, you see, like, are the animals being displaced. If you want, like, for example, the way they said they want to do a project about golf in Karura.
Yeah.
You don't know the animals that are there. They are going to they are going to be displaced. They're going to find other areas. They're going to actually struggle to get other areas that they can survive on. And maybe the tourists who normally go there, they're going there for the nature and and to see the animals. But now, if such project happens, they won't have anything to see and enjoy. So before, I can tell the companies, before starting a project, at least know what you're going to do about it, and also know, if this happens, if the animals are going to be displaced, what are we going to do to them? What are we going to
actually, where are they going to go?
Exactly. Have the solution. Have the solution of the problem.
Are you taking them to a park, or are you leaving them in your house? In fact, it has reminded me of a case in Trans Nzoia where monkeys left the jungle, and they're now attacking villages in the local communities, because I think there was a forest that was cleared, and they did housing. So now the monkeys are so wild, they're now biting every person who's just walking by.
Exactly. So you see, it's creating human wildlife conflict, and both of them are going to get hurt. The humans are going to kill the animals because they are destroying their crops and everything. The animals are going to hurt the humans because their comfort was destroyed, so they're coming to seek comfort somewhere else where already there exist other things and other people, and that is not where they belong. So at least when you're starting a project, know that you're starting here. These are the people who are going to be affected, but what is the solution of these people these people or animals or whatever is around it? What is the solution about the problem that they're going to face? Yes.
Now, when you look at what's happening in Kenya with, I think, the Ministry of Tourism, is it Wildlife? Wildlife and Tourism, is it the same? Yeah, I believe it's the same ministry, the same docket under Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano. Was it the lions that were that are astray? I think it's in Rongai where they're just roaming. Exactly. So I was also like widely thinking, what could be possibly pushing these lions from their den? They're now visiting people door to door. I can imagine if you pursued such a phenomenon and just explained to people.
I can say, first of all, you can see there are some houses that are built very near to the park, or maybe within the park, and that is not supposed to happen. If it is a park, it's supposed to be for animals. They're not supposed to. The interaction is only to happen when you're visiting, not staying, But also for the on the side of tourism, I think they're supposed to know where the boundary lies, and also put something like a fence to separate,
shield and separate,
to separate the two. And also when the, like, for example, the way the Maasais normally do, they go graze into the parks and everything. It's not bad actually, but you find with that interaction it may cause some sort of disturbance to the animals, because that is not what they are used to do. You get the environment. The environment is not adding up to them. So you find that there will be conflicts between them. So I can say for the national, for the wildlife services, they at least fence the park very well. That is going to separate the both human and animals, and also for the humans and for the people around it, at least they know where to construct their building. Don't go constructing buildings inside the national park, and that is where you're calling your home. No.
It's interesting because I school at multimedia, and we shared our home with baboons, and I believe at Kwea as well. Like you can see these baboons, and others even call them chimpanzees. You see them crisscrossing, students running, you know. Yeah, and you wonder, like, what's not happening here? Are we coexisting in the same house? So there's even been experiences where students have run away from the hostels because the baboons have literally invaded their home, so it's unsafe. And they're brutal. They're not like just coming and they're staring. They're coming and grabbing something and fleeing with it.
Well, I think, first of all, those animals are very excellent tree climbers. So you see, wherever there are trees, or like at the forest somewhere, you'll have to see them there, because I think that is their shelter and habitat. So for such a case, well,
and in fact, they share fence, even at Kwea as well, because the better part
actually
of
Kwea is
that,
opposite the Nairobi
National Park. Like you share a fence, and
I mean, you can try you can try and take care of a solution, but you won't take care of it 100%. You'll try your level best, because I believe if it's, you see, like this Nakuru Nairobi highway, around is it near Gilgil, where there are normally,
I believe so. Yes,
animals,
there's a lot of trees.
And animals crossing the road, zebras, antelopes, and such kind of animals. You see, you can't have a problem and solve it like completely 100% and say like, we have done this, and now the baboon forever they will always find a way to get into different houses, into different environments. But what they can do is probably maybe they might help in reducing the number or something like that,
or just transfer them to a national park. That's what I'm thinking, because I think there's a reporter here, is a friend on this channel. One side he covers wildlife, like transportation or transfer of elephants from one park to another, giraffes, and it's usually a dramatic process, and just it's cinema. They say cinematography. They do like some sort of Nat Geo documentaries where they are capturing a baboon that's pregnant with its other communities and putting them in a cab, and so I think maybe such needs to be employed. And
and also transporting animals such as elephants, giraffes, antelopes, zebra is very different from transporting baboons, and because before you get hold of one,
it's a wild chase.
It is a wild chase, or it is fighting. So, well, they can try. They can try their level best. The ones that are going to remain, well, itabidi tume.
We'll find a way of solving it.
Or living with it.
Which is difficult, by the way, especially wild animals. At least for birds, I've seen people who there's this dude who was working with are they falcons or eagles in town? On his shoulder and the head. A little bit awkwardish, but ni sawa. I want us to shift the conversation to culture, the cultural aspect now of geography. How does it unfold for people?
The aspect part is, for geography, there is the tourism aspect. You see, like when different people come, they get to interact from different parts of their world. Like, for example, they normally have the tourists coming from the US, from Britain, from wherever they come from, and come to Kenya,
Right.
there will be cultural exchange.
Uh-huh.
And also for the human part of geography, the intermarriages.
Right.
You find like when a Kikuyu marries a Luo, you get to learn the cultures of Kikuyu, you get to learn the cultures of the other community. Yeah, so like and also for the trading aspect, when when trade is happening, when you take a specific a good from place A to place B, the culture that was in place A is not the same as the one in place B. So like you get to exchange, you get to exchange ideas, you get to exchange thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I like you maybe if maybe after you're done with the whole entire part of the training expertise, maybe if you can try to see how Kenyans adapt to these overseas countries and how also that affects the ones remaining here, because I believe they get affected, yeah? When a loved one just moves on that other side, there's a certain, and I believe as well the culture shock part of it, because you're entering an ecosystem. Like right now, the temperatures are really on a low, So how does that affect as well, this other side and this both parties, in terms of now merging? But when you look at now young people that are passionate to do what you're doing, maybe would you encourage them to like join mentorship organizations? Maybe someone has finished doing, let's say, a course like maybe BBIT, but on the sideline they were passionate to do what you're literally doing, or you want to pursue further. Would you advise them to check in an institution, or find a group of mentors, or find a person like Mr. Kalua that you just mentioned? You're really aligned to him. Yeah.
I can say, first of all, make Google your friend. Google will get all the answers. You will, if you want to pursue something, just go Google about it, and also find a professional who is in the field, who is going to educate you more on what you want to do. You'll get different ideas, you will get the challenges that you're likely to face, you will get the positive impact of what you want to do. And all will be well.
Are there maybe challenging parts as well that they can anticipate from maybe borrowing from your experience while you're, because of course your academic part was a little bit as well with the cluster points. I believe that was a shaky moment a little bit, but you know, you powered through. So maybe what are some of the possible obstacles they can face if maybe they want to start from scratch now, like just check in and start studying a course, do it as a general unit, and then later on you can pursue it as a forte?
Well, Geographer won't lie, it is a very, very broad. It's a very broad, which means you'll have to, you'll have to read. You see these books that people normally,
like the kind of law books.
Geography is that wide. It is so wide, of which you have to read about it. You know, like you see in high school, when you're talking to someone who is doing history, they'll tell you, what I normally do is just cram it. I go to the exam room, I write what I've crammed, and I go. For geography, you'll have to read and understand the content that you're reading. You can, if you're able to cram geography, you have a very brilliant mind, because the information that you're about to cram, it is so much. It is so much.
Is that an arithmetic part?
Of course, every course has one.
Every course has and everything, the degrees, the angles,
and also the demographic, population, etc. There is also the mathematical part, of which it's not that much. If you go with the mentality, like for example, I went with the mentality, geography, hakuwezi kuwa na math. I mean, I went to campus. It was only theory, practical, just writing and go to campus. You find a whole unit of math. You're like, oh my God, I thought, what is math doing in geography? But then you'll come and later understand that you'll have to use math to calculate the distance, to calculate the number of people in an area, to calculate the homesteads,
graphic work as well,
and also graph and everything.
Empirical.
And also the fact that mostly geography is more of a male-dominated
Wow.
course.
Uh-huh.
Like 25% is only female. 74, 74, 74, yeah, 74, 75% is male.
Right.
So there is also that challenge, which I would like to encourage the girls, please come and join me as we do geography.
Yes.
And try to add to the numbers. There is someone whom I told,
Yeah.
I'm doing Bachelor of Arts in Geography, and then he's like, well, unajua hiyo course yako inakuanga imefanywa tu na wazee. I'm like, wow, okay. Alright. Alright. And also not even wazee in terms of male gender. It is wazee in terms of also age.
What?
Yeah. You find like where I was doing in the KMD.
Right.
You find mostly in the department that I was, I could count the number of youths who are working there. The rest are a little bit older than us.
And
So,
you're
yeah.
a Gen Z,
And
and
I'm
you're
a Gen
like,
Z.
I just want to go home right now. Please don't talk to me
like,
anymore.
God, what? Yo.
Yeah. So, did you have that experience as well in your internship? Because I understand you did it at the Met, the Kenya something Institute of
Kenya Meteorological Department.
Yes, right. Did you experience as well people who are elderly?
Yeah, I did, because that is the majority number of people who are there. The ones who are there now, I think the ones who are my age, we were attachees, and the ones who are doing internship. The ones who are fully employed there were old. I don't want to say old.
Elderly.
Yeah.
Or of an advanced age or
Exactly.
middle-aged. Yeah.
Exactly. So like I would really want to encourage the young ones, young ones.
Did you feel uninspired? Because you can, even in this profession, even as journalists, like this, before you get anything or get on any platform, you must have proved something so special. And there's so many obstacles as well. There's gatekeeping. So before they settle on a talent, you must be really peculiar.
Yeah, yeah.
So that can inspire you
Very,
sometimes
very
if
much.
maybe you needed someone to hold your hand. Yeah, so did you feel uninspired at some point?
Yeah, definitely, because in such a setup, you're like, hi, why is it only this kind of people who are here? Why can't I see the youth? Okay, I'm talking of my department. I didn't go to all departments. Maybe the other departments have been substituted. I don't know. But I'm like, well, why is this difference? The gap is it's too big. And also I remember when we went there, when we went for the attachment, we were personally asked, me and my schoolmates, which course we did. We said Bachelor of Arts in Geography, and then someone just asked, na mnafanya nini huku? You're like, si tumekuja attachment. Because for them they think the geography is more physical. There is the geography part, and then now there is the meteorological part. Because, and we were also told, if a geographer and a meteorologist come and apply for work for the geographer wouldn't be considered.
So they
And mind you, and mind you, you've whatever he has done and whatever you've done is similar. Or let's say 95%.
But maybe for them they've focused maybe on weather aspects, weather patterns,
actually
clouds and whatnot.
Exactly. No, but no, you see, when such a statement comes up, you're like, there is no need of me being here. It's very discouraging. There is no need of me being here. But well, through strength and we managed.
And inspiration, self-inspiration, because I can only imagine, how it feels being there. So what are some of the things that you've had to do to actually, continue being in this space? Because for me already, I'd see that as something that I'm not really, because I want to be interactive, I want to interact with people, but it involves, it means you're passionate about it so much. So there are things that you've had to do, like self-training. Do you, say, self-inspire yourself by reading more, researching more, and that helps you to stay afloat in the profession?
I love what I do. I love the course I did. I love what I do. one. If you love what you do, then you'll inspire yourself in. You'll be very curious to know what next after this, what happens when this happens. Like, it is a cycle. And also, my brother is also a very huge part. It has taken a very huge part in helping me wanting to continue with what I'm doing, because my course and what he's doing are in the similar routes. So he normally encourages me to keep on working, keep on researching, keep on doing what you're doing. At the end of it all, it's gonna pay itself.
Yeah. Maybe as we near towards closing this conversation, maybe what are some of those things that you never knew existed in that space, and until, you know, sometimes before you pursue something, you, even career-wise, before you make a certain career choice, you usually know, this is Sakwa, okay, he's on TV, okay, I want to be on TV too. But then you come in and you're told you have to know how to edit audios for digital. Yeah, you have to know how to write scripts for documentaries. But then eventually you'll still end up on that desk, yeah? So you're met with an avalanche of a shocker. And then now you start training, and then you get, somebody say you get the hang of it, and you realize, oh, in this space you must be multifaceted. You must be able to do this and still do this, but still you do this, yeah? So are there things that you met that were really interesting and you didn't know?
Well, for geography, it's basically the same thing, but not expounded. You see, like what I did in high school is what I came to do in campus, but now in a deeper, in a deeper level. So at least I didn't get much of a shocker about the whole course. Yeah. So this really. I wasn't. I don't think there is anything that came as a complete shock to me.
So it was a little bit more familiar.
Yeah, right. It was. It's just that it just got deeper. Yeah.
Maybe some of the things as well that people don't know that geographers do that will really blow your mind. You'll be like, really? I never knew a geographer does this as well. Because of course it's the familiar of environment, climate, culture, society, etc.
Well, for a geographer, you can.
Like, is it possible to find, you know, I think he's called Dr. Rain. He's a pediatrician, but then he's also a rapper. So like, how does you treat children, but you are rapping hip hop, you know? When you see it, but it's a hobby and it's a talent. So, and this is a professional, you know. So you're like, wow, that's really impressive. But I'm just stunned at how you do this too. Have you met a professional who does? Both, yeah.
Well, I think for geography is it's easy. I think it's easier to jog different aspects. You're able to. You can do it as an interest. You're just eager. Like I said, geography is all about what you can see. So you're just curious of what you are seeing. So you are able to. You're able to learn new things every day. And with geography, you're able to learn new things as you go. So you're able to do a different thing, and also learning about a different aspect in geography. It's easy to joke.
Yeah, somebody is asking. Yeah, nice. Love that. Somebody is asking, what are some of your hobbies that you do? Are there things that, like, I believe he's asking about your talent. Is there something you're really talented in that you love doing?
Yeah.
That corresponds to what you do, or totally as well off just the tangent of what you're professionally pursuing?
Apart from geography, I sing. I can sing. My talent is singing.
Right. So you can throw some Alicia Keys, some Mariah Carey. You know?
Yeah.
And I love music because I came from radio. I used to do radio, so I know about music kidogo. So sana. So you sing a lot, yeah?
Yeah, I sing.
Things that you don't like, well, when people start doing them in public. I believe this should be like a social setting, like matatu. For me, I think one shocking one was I was once seated to a person. Next, I think the way you sit behind someone, and then there's a person seated next to you, and this person is operating on a mobile phone. So this other person is just like they've stretched their whole neck, like they're focusing on this chat, the way this person is responding to. I'm like, bro, that's a bad behavior. Stop snooping.
You're trying to get the tea.
Literally, what are you doing? Are you DCI? Are you stop being nosy? I just find it to be like an awkward behavior, public, especially because that's in a public matatu, you know. Yeah. What are some? What are such like as well that you met? You're like, if you do this, bruh, we are parting ways.
You see, these people who are in a matatu and they're on a phone call and then they're so loud.
Yeah,
That's so loud. I think they're the only ones in the matatu. Oh my God. You just give me minutes, I get where I'm going, I'll call you back. It's that simple,
Like the meme, tumefika Nakuru. Tumefika.
Or
You're seated like at the last end of the bus, you know.
Or having there was a time I was traveling to Mombasa by bus. And then there was a guy who was seated in front of me. Literally the whole journey he was on a phone call.
Whoa.
Or at least 3/4 of the journey he was on a phone call. So whether you're trying to sleep, it's at night, someone is having a conversation. It's not the silent kind of conversation. The loud.
Loud,
yeah.
Like everybody knows you're asking kama mko na unga nyumbani ama imeisha.
Ama
mama amerudi.
Like
some conversation like just say hi,
It's so irritating.
I think it's irritable, it's irritable. All right, what is the one thing that people don't know about you as we exit they can they should expect as well, and also the projects that maybe you'll be working on as we exit, and how can they also get to be in touch with you maybe on social media? Are you doing TikTok? I believe you are, or if not, maybe you're heading there. It will be shocking as a Gen Z if you're not doing TikTok as well. So please share with us. It's your camera.
One thing that people don't know about me is that I do model.
You're a model, fashion model.
I can't really say fashion model, but I do model. But once in a while, that is why people don't know about me.
Wow, on and off,
yeah, it is
so
literally it is very on and off.
Meaning that there's photos mahali, they can go check and just, you know, get to see this model. Okay.
Well, I do not do TikTok.
You don't have TikTok?
I do have
You have the app.
I have the app, but
don't share
zero content.
I believe at this point, after this show, the next thing you're going to do is record TikTok videos because it's the next big thing, I know. Now that Donald Trump has reinstated it.
And you can get me via Instagram. It's Moirore. No, not it's Moirore. MUI.RURI_. You can get me via email, chatimoirore, CHATTIE, moirore@gmail.com. And also, as I'm also how is it called? As I'm also looking for different experiences in employment, I am looking forward to work with very different organizations.
Pitch yourself here. you said the social media, the email. Which one do you have that's active? Your socials or email? Yeah, please give us your exit.
Yeah, both my Instagram and email are very active.
Please share if you're comfortable to share.
For Instagram is Moirore, MUI.RURI_. And for Gmail is chatimoirore, CHATTIE, moirore@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you so much for interacting with us. Do you have you know, there's people who say, I go by this mantra, 2025, I'm this, I'm this and that. It inspires me. Do you have like one of those as well that gets you into, you know, there's a way you get into your whole mood and you just, you morph into an amazing person. Do you have maybe a quote, an inspiration, a figure that you look up to? Could be a gentleman, could be a lady.
I look up to my parents. They have a very, apart from being my parents, they have really inspired me to get where I am right now. I really like how they deal with issues, how they deal with life as it comes, and they survive. When they survive every challenge that comes across them. Also, for my family at large, my brothers, my two of them, they are so awesome. They help me go through life.
Right.
And also, for me, I don't have the mantras and everything, but I just go by a Bible
Go with
verse.
the flow. Oh,
No,
Bible verse.
just a
Good.
Bible
There you
verse.
go. Woman of God. Yeah.
It's just a Bible verse, and it's from Romans 8:18. It's that the sufferings on this earth cannot be compared to the glory that is yet to be revealed.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Amen.
Yes.
And I agree with that big time. Thank you so much, Charity.
And also, I can add,
Yes.
and what I can tell the
Gen Zs.
the Gen Zs who are about to come into campus is that, and also to their parents, allow your child to do what he or she wants to do, the course he or she wants to do, because you never know where it will get him or her.
Yeah. That's a good advice.
Yeah.
Please. Especially those parents that are fixated on, in this family we are engineers, and so you can only be a doctor or you can be a pilot, but you want to be a DJ and enjoy mixing and scratching. That will get you started and you'll feel good, right? Wow. Absolutely, because you'll make money because you love it. And on that note, let's end it. Thank you so much, Charity. It's been really interesting and riveting to interact with you. When you start the projects, please feel free to just slide it in our email or just make way to this show. We'll receive you there.
Thank you.
Karibu sana and
Thank you
welcome. And so we're going to do this. We're going to take a very short break. When we come back into the next conversation, we are talking about cancer awareness, specifically cervical cancer. And in Kenya, what are we looking at in terms of awareness? Health facilities that are there in terms of diagnosis, treatment, where does it start? The patients, now that SHA is working, SHIFSHA, there's somebody who says SHUSHA. SHIFSHA, is it working? Is it supporting patients? And for those as well that want to seek a further treatment outside, how can they get it now that it's in the spirit of Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, literally for this whole month of January? So let's take a break and we'll come back with a panel of our next guests in just a bit.